And welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. Today is Monday, July 25th. Happy summer to all of you. Got some good root beer with me. I was out all day playing Pokemon Go, walking around. Caught me a shiny Dialga. It's pretty sick. Anyway, so we found out about this I think last week, and I haven't been around to talk about it. But JPPC has gotten the update for Abyss Purgatory. So we kind of figured that with this update being as lacklustery dull as it is, hey Novelet, how you doing, man? How you doing, my friend? We kind of figured that something had to give, something had to come, some kind of perk, something. Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? Hey Ragey, hey Divinity, hey everybody, how is it hanging? Yeah, Switch is in a bad place, for sure. They're supposed to be giving you guys some kind of notice to let you transfer to PC. I haven't heard anything more about that, but when I do, I will make sure to tell people about what I know, how to get that process going. But with Switch is closing down. They're going to put out a way to transfer your account to PC. Probably Steam, I imagine. Cheeky Ned, how you doing, you cheeky Nandos? Having a spot of fun, are you? How you doing, my friend? Oh, so Abyss Purg is coming, and I want to get this information out quick because I watch YouTube myself, so I know that people want to click video, learn information, get out of there. I appreciate you guys. So Abyss Purg update will start Thursday night, switch into Friday morning. We'll have the update on PS4 Onigiri. Abyss Purg will be there for about 2 weeks until August 4th, I think. August 14th he'll be around. No, Steam players cannot, to answer your question, Novel, Steam players play with Steam players. Like, Steam and Switch was already the same server, so they're just gonna, like, swap you guys over to computer interface instead of the Switch. You guys are just gonna be your own server. And it should run better, hopefully, because the Switch was pretty shoddy at running the MMOs. So Abyss Purg is coming this Thursday night. We're going to have the update maintenance. And then Friday morning, Abyss Purg will be there. Rejoice, this is the least desirable weapon in the game. So only like 1 or 2 exist in the world. Just a brief overview. The Abyss Purg weapon is a 135 dark weapon. I'm not too sure on its specifics because I didn't really give a damn about it once I learned how you try to make it. Let me see here. I think it has 2 dark multipliers on it, and then slice, pierce, or impact based on what weapon you build. Apart from that, I don't really care what it does because it basically takes 9 purgatory weapons to make. So for those unfamiliar with the Abyss Purg weapon, it takes, don't even go for that recipe. Like, do your research first. So it's a 135 weapon. I think it has 2 dark multipliers on it, a lot of dark element, a physical element, probably negative 2 billion holy. But what it takes is 3 Purgatory Nova weapons, so Sleet Sword Void, 3 Sleet Voids, 3 Infernal Voids, and 3 Levin Voids, Levin Lance weapons, all of the same type. It's not 3 of any kind. Like, if you're making the spear or the sword for Abyss, you would need 9 133 swords from the Gargoyle Purgs. Like, it's laughable. Like, it's one of those things that they should redux that recipe, honest to God. You know, for those who made it before, like, they already made their decision. I doubt they'd be salty if they redux that recipe. Like, that was their decision to do. Like, I wouldn't care. But, like, really, the only reason you would make this weapon, like, there is, like, is if you're reflexing. But the real main thing about this purg is the Ogi. Do I have this one? What one? Shizuka? Yeah, like, don't make this weapon. Like, absolutely do not make, yeah, it's not worth making, but the Ogi is worth getting. 1000% the Ogi is worth getting. Everlasting Gale is one of the best Ogis in the game. Absolutely. It's basically a free-to-play Ogi with iframes. I think it's like 9 or 10 hits. It's very powerful. It has a unique property in which its invincibility frames last so long. And this is very most notable for twin swords. That the invincibility frames from Everlasting Gale as an Ogi, when you switch, like, they last so long that you can go Everlasting Gale into, like, let's say Collapsing Blade 7, or any attack, and you'll have a couple frame, like, your startup will be invincible because the invincibility lasts so long in Everlasting Gale. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to pull it up here, the move, just to showcase it, just for a second, just so you can see it. Where is it? My Darkfin. I have it on my Darkfin. It's part of what I like to call the invincible combo. Just talk to someone here. So, Everlasting Gale, what I call the invincible combo is that, like, you know, the Darkfin. The Darkfin is a dark weapon with ice on it, dark ice weapon. If you have Icicle Punishment, like, Everlasting Gale just combos with it. So, like, both Oogis are invincible. Like, it's a staple meta thing. Here's Everlasting Gale. Big, big, big tornado. Let me zoom out all the way. So it makes a bunch of, like, sights come out of the ground and then a big tornado. And you're invincible during all of this. So if I go Everlasting Gale into Ice Dragon Spiral, my startup, which is my most vulnerable part of Ice Dragon Spiral, which can be interrupted. Like, that's the big problem with it. If you combo it with Gale, your startup, if you do it right, you get an invincible startup on one of your strongest attacks. It's a really good weapon like that. Whether you have Icicle Punishment or not, if you can get Ice Dragon Spiral 7 or 6 or whatever on a Darkfin in conjunction with Everlasting Gale, very, very, very powerful spear tech. Really good for getting out that damage. Even if you don't need the Everlasting Gale to necessarily do damage, you can just use it for iframes that carry on to your skills that do damage. So, like, Everlasting Gale, Icicle Punishment, they pretty much cover each other. You can do it, like, with 80 cooldown. You're pretty solid. It also stands to reason that if you were around for Dullahan, you could make a Darkfin with, like, Decapitating Scream and Everlasting Gale, which is a very, very powerful combo. You know, there's so many options, but Everlasting Gale, definitely one of the best Oogis in the entire game. Absolutely. Everlasting Gale, one of the best moves. Absolutely. I recommend everybody get it. It's 1,000 treasure, 25 hell runs, and you're done. That's it. This whole event, like, the weapons, not worth getting. In my honest opinion, it's not worth it. You're better off just doing Abyss, 25 runs, get your full restores from this event shop, whatever you need to do. It's about 125 OC, 150 OC. You know, worth of restores. Not to mention regular energy over time, if you want to do the Oni modes, whatever. Get your 25 runs of hell in, and you're done. You get the Ogi, you're out of there. You don't make the weapon. You don't worry about nothing. The only thing I'm curious about is I'm curious about if what the mag is going to look like. So, in the past, like when Abyss first rolled around for us, this is our first coming of Abyss, a second coming of Abyss for our console, for PS4. When Abyss first rolled around, we didn't have the capability to like look at recipes and look what they take for mag, like look at mag recipes and see what they actually become. Same thing with weapon recipes. We couldn't actually look at the weapon that we were making until we gave it to Yoshitsune. But then an update came out, I think it came out during a Lucifer Purg, where we could just highlight a recipe without opening it, and it would show us what the product would look like. And I'm really, really excited to look at what the 135 Abyss Magatama does. I don't know what it does. I've never looked much into it. So for me, I can't wait to have a peek at that this Friday. I never really gave it 2 cents. Like, I never really bothered with it in the past. But this time around, I'm curious, because the Dullahan mag is pretty good. The Soul mag, when Dullahan comes around, I'm getting a baby mag, and I'm going to make Soul mag, like, in a second. I'm really excited for that. Hey, KMC, how you doing, friend? So Everlasting Gale is coming back. It's going to be awesome. And I will remind you that it is a universal Ogi. Everlasting Gale is, whatever weapon you put it on, it's going to stay like that. So if you put it on your spear, even though it's a universal move, once it's on your spear, you can't put it on swords, you can't put it on wand, you can't put it on Odachi, nothing else. So whatever you put it on, that locks it to that type. So make sure you don't accidentally put it on a staff or anything like that, unless you wanted it on your staff, you know. But basically that's just how it works. It's one of those universals. It's not like a Sublime where it's fixed to go on a certain weapon type. It's for all weapon types, and it's one of the best Ogis in the game. And I really, really, really recommend everybody get this. I already know that once Abyss is going to end, I will have someone back for the next stream and say, hey, what event's going on? And I'll say, Abyss just ended. And they'll say, no, I didn't get my Ogi. And I'm like, man, where were you for 2 weeks? And that happens every time. How you doing, Kind of Nuts? Welcome back. That always happens. So make sure you tell your friends. Abyss is going to be, it's going to be around. And the biggest thing is that it's going to go quick. It's going to go quick. Not many people, like normally, like there'll be like tons. People have to do normally like 200, 500 runs for their Purg weapons. It's pretty easy to get in some parties, get some runs in there, spend a couple hours with the boys, and log off, get your treasures. This one's not going to be like that. It's literally you get, unless the mag is worth a damn, it's literally going to be like 25 runs, you're out. 25 runs, you're out. 25 runs, you're out. So you got to try to be vigilant on Friday and Saturday. This weekend. This weekend is going to be like Abyss weekend. It's going to be very, very important that you play. If you're interested in Everlasting Gale, that you stick around for that weekend. You be vigilant. You join parties. Get those runs in when you can. Hey, Selva. This update right now, it's got a scrap in the exchange shop. It's very quick. You just log in every day, use your energy, log out, get stuff in the exchange shop at your leisure. And then this weekend, this Friday, we're going to have Abyss Purg rolling in. That's going to be fun. Everlasting Gale. Not only that, and this is probably going to be the deal breaker for anyone that probably tries to run a lot of Abyss Purg, is the fact that new Sublimes are coming as well. So, Abyss-inspired Sublimes, they're all Dark Sublimes to my knowledge, are also coming this Friday. And I'm excited for those. I have the page right beside me here. They are... I have the rough translation. This is not the English patch notes yet. They'll be out like Wednesday or Thursday, more than likely. But the rough translation states that there's skill, sword has, and this is the rough translation, I don't think it's right, but they have something called Seville, it's probably like Evil Squall, or Seville Squall Throw. Then there's, Odachi has Mystery Abyssal Swivel, And then Axe has Mystery Abyssal Whirl. Spear has Mystery Abyssal Ren. Twin Swords has Throw. And then Bow has Ren. And then Wand has Whirlpool. And Staff has Whirlpool. And I think those names are going to change. But from what I can tell, Staff and Wand are going to have the same Sublime. Bow and Spear are going to have the same Sublime. Sword and Twin are going to have the same Sublime. And Axe and Odachi are going to have the same Sublime. So there's going to be like 4 different Sublimes going around, each belonging to 2 different weapon types, or a pair of weapon types. So Bow and Spear are going to have the same Sublime. Sword and Twin are going to have the same Sublime. Axe and Odachi are going to have the same Sublime, and Wand and Staff are going to have the same Sublime. Really? They did use it? Did they use it in that big, like, I was trying to check out if they did a showcase or anything for the Sublimes, because they usually do, but, I can't thank them enough for doing all those showcases, because we get to see stuff in advance, but I can't imagine the price of getting all 8 Sublimes. Like, they usually, and it's usually on, like, the one character we see them all. Like, I couldn't imagine getting 8 different Sublimes. Like, that's really, really, like, too rich for my blood. So they probably got their Spearogi pretty quick, and it's like, well, I'm not going to roll for more stuff. I don't blame them. But you're saying it's 10 hits? That's really promising. You're saying it's 10 hits for that the Spearogi. And that means the Bow-Ogi is getting, that's a huge upgrade. Oh, they did it in the Vanguard test dungeon? Because I was checking out their channel, and I didn't see like a video dedicated to showcasing them, so I'm under the assumption they got their Ogi and they got out, because why spend, upwards to like $1,000 to try and, it's not a good product margin to make a YouTube video. I'll tell you right now. Like, if you get them all, or you get the vast majority of them, or you're trying to get 2, if you get them along the way to getting your own, yeah, showcase them, show them off. People want to know what they're getting. Like, people want samples. They pulled the sword, then the... Your comments are all getting cut off. I have to pull up the stream. Let me see here. Jeez. There I am. Oh, they got the sword, then the spear. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So, what were you saying? It's 10 hits super strong? Yeah? I kind of wish, like, one thing, I think me and Scrub were talking about it, and it's like, yeah, it's nice that they showcase stuff, and that's fine, but it's like, when you only showcase a move in the test dungeon, all that really teaches us is, the hit count. And, like, does it have invincibility frames and stuff? It's a nice little, like, get to look at stuff. Yeah, Everlasting Gale is coming back. Well, it should be. Like, if Abyss PURG is there, then Everlasting Gale should be there. So, supposedly, that's pretty cool to hear. I didn't know it was 10 hits. Although I'm pretty sure that most Sublimes nowadays, it's kind of the assumption that they're going to be like 10 hits. Like, that's actually like a good point you brought up, is that like most Sublimes being 10 hits, because I'm pretty sure Everlasting Gale, although it's not a Sublime, it is Sublime level, absolutely. Invincibility, and I think it hits 9 or 10 times. It's very, very strong. And in the past, this attack, Everlasting Gale, was known to stun big enemies. Like the first time we had the chocolate event, like the big chocolate giants would get stunned. Like Odin and Tiamat would get stunned like all the time. Like Everlasting Gale had such a big stun value. And then this past Valentine's Day, it still happened, but to a lesser degree. I feel like they tweaked that down or increased their resistance, one of the two. But it does have the potential to stun, has iframes. Is it like Everlasting Gale? There's 4 different versions of it, Miyamoto. So it's not a direct, just like a super Everlasting Gale. It's based off of Abyss. Like I've seen pictures that they posted. One of them was like a bunch of sights coming out of the ground and going up. One of them was like a ranged tornado. That's from what I can tell. But from what KMC has told me is that bow and spears, which I believe are the exact same, are 10 hits of darkness. So that's really good. We will all be able to say "Mi llamo darkness." We are the darkness in Spanish. Je suis la nuit, which rhymes in French. I am darkness. I am the night. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. And as I mentioned before, Everlasting Gale has iframes. It's invincible, and its iframes carry over to the next attack you do. So it combos really well with Ice Dragon Spiral, Collapsing Blade on Twin, pretty much whatever your follow-up attack is. So it stands to reason that on, let's say, a Darkfin, Everlasting Gale would combo into this new Sublime. Now, I don't think the Sublime's going to have it iframes. Not many Sublimes do. It's usually, really, it's only been like Salome, Punishment, like event crossover Ogies, and Everlasting Gale that really have iframes. Yes, this update. Like, we're still going to have this summer event that's going on. Like, it's still going to be this event with Sasuke and Fuma. But they're just adding in Abyss PURG and the Abyss Sublime Oogies. I guess we can call them that. But it's 10 hits, really powerful darkness. It's probably going to be the same elements that it normally is. So if you're like, let's say, Odachi, Sword, Twin, Axe, it's probably going to be like Slice and Dark. If you're Spear and Bow, it's probably going to be Pierce and Dark. And then if you're Wand and Staff, it's either going to be 100% Dark or Impact and Dark. And then if one of them's 10 hits, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be probably around 9 to 11 hits on average. That would be fair. I couldn't see one of them being, like, they do come in different iterations, so there is going to be some nuance. Hopefully they're all good or have some super ability or something, but because I know, like, there are some Sublimes, like Wand has Dark Tornado Sublime, not Dark, it's Darkness Pillar Sublime, and it's literally like it's like Daytenryu Sublime essentially, but it hits 20 times, but it pushes the enemy back. Like, it has an extra property to the attack. And they do get pretty intricate with these Sublimes sometimes. Like, they give them these new properties and stuff. So with them making 4 different ones, I'm not sure how it's going to go. Because I feel like Wand and Staff is going to have a ranged version. I haven't seen it myself. I'll probably see it this Friday coming, hopefully. It should be a nice stand-in for like Collapsing Blade Sublime and Shoal Slash, which we got missed out on. But I think it really stands to reason that if you are going to go for these Sublimes, like let's say you want 2, like I want the Spear and the Twin. That's pretty much the gist of it for a lot of, like, let's say meta players. They're like, well, for Twin is like the king of darkness. So you're going to have like your triple collapsing or your backstrike double collapsing, Everlasting Gale, insert Sublime. You know, you're going to have that kind of weapon. Or, like, there's going to be a lot of dark options, to be honest. Like, even without the Sublime, they still have, is it Everlasting Scream? What's the other one called? The one on the, Decapitated Scream, the Dullahan Ogi. Like, that Ogi still exists. Like, this Ogi is respectable. It is a 9 hit and can do damage cap 9 times on the right enemy with the right build. Very respectable attack. Passion Funeral on our Dullahan 128s and our 135s, 133s. It's still a respectable Ogi. Like, Dark is going to have a lot of competition, honestly. Like this new Dark Sublime, you're going to have to fight with Decapitating Scream, Everlasting Gale, Passionate Funeral on Dullahan, and then you're going to have this Sublime, and then you're going to have, like I mentioned earlier, Darkness Pillar Sublime on Wand. Doesn't Odachi have like Dark Tornado Sublime? I don't know if there's a Dark Gate Sublime, but there's a lot of competition. There is Restriction Sublime, but let's be honest, that's like to the wayside nowadays. Like, it's a good attack, but it's not the best. 2 hits a cap isn't much these days. I mean, it's nice to have a big, like, it's good for dungeon clearing, but so is a mount in a Vanguard. Yeah, so, and then there is like Shoal Slash and Collapsing Blade Sublime on Spear and Twin, respectively. Like, there's going to be a lot of competition for where these Sublimes go. Like, I could see myself building a second Dullahan weapon. I do have enough drops to make another Spear. Like, I could, because of the extra damage bonus, like, I could see myself, you know, making another one, or even taking off Decapitated Scream altogether and replacing it with that one if it's better. Like, I still have I have another Decapitated Scream that's never been used. Like, it's, the competition for dark slots is actually really high. Like, let's say, for example, you were around for, let's say, for example, you were around for Dullahan, and you have Dark Fin weapons, and you have a Dullahan and a Dark Fin, let's just say. So you have, like, the hands, and then you have, like, Scream, and then you have Everlasting Gale on a Dark Fin, and then you have, let's say, the Sublime. You're golden! You're golden! That's all you need! Fantastic! Congratulations! You're set for Dark. And then you could have, yeah, that's pretty good. And if you wanted a third Dark, I haven't really been in an encounter outside of Oni mode where I've needed a third weapon. To be honest with you, most of the time, whenever I'm in a situation that demands me to use weapons of a certain type, like an Oni mode or whatever, I'll have like 2 weapons, and then I'll have something with backstrike, and then I'll have my staff. Like, that's usually my kit. So a third dark weapon, like, it's really interesting to think about. Very interesting indeed. Now, I mean, if you were somebody who wanted to make the Abyss weapon itself, even though it's probably not as good as the Dullahan, I can't imagine. I don't think the Abyss weapon has extra damage multipliers or anything of the sort. I'm not too sure on that. But Dullahan probably is the better weapon to make. It is definitely an easier weapon to make. So that is that could be more of, you know, like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 25 run and done situation we're going to be experiencing here with Abyss. Which is fine. You get it done in a week, you're great, you're Gucci, you're guac, you're relaxing, it's your summer. Why should you be stressing about Oni? It's another gracious gift. And that way, you spend your money on the Sublime, and then you just do 25 runs of Abyss, you're done. Or maybe you do Oni mode, I don't know. I don't know how you get your kicks. It's up to you. Also, on that note, how do we fight Abyss, Oro? What do we use? Good question, Oro. Glad you asked. So, this is a big misconception. People think that Abyss is, like, only weak to Holy. Not correct. Abyss is weak to a myriad of things, actually. So, Abyss, to understand Abyss, the regular Abyss weapon, if I can pull that up, that'd be great. The OG Abyss weapon, which is nothing like the PURG Abyss, which is really disappointing. The Abyss weapon should have been like 3 multipliers, honestly, for 3 different elements. Where is it? Do I have it? There it is. So the Shadowfoot Guardian Abyss, the basic Abyss version. Big misconception, I'll say it again here. Do not make 8 Abysses to make this weapon. That is not how it's done. You make, like, 1. You make 9 Voids. 3 Infernal, 3 Sleet, and 3 Levin Lance, all of the same type. So, basically, the Abyss is supposed to be the combination of, like, Sleet, Infernal, and Levin together. So how it works is it gives you bonuses for the 3 primary elements. So you have bonus fire, bonus ice, and bonus lightning. So I think it's 50 of each, I think, on the regular weapon. 40 of each. I don't know. Oh no, that's slice, not ice. I can't read, it's too far away. I'm sitting in a different chair. So yeah, it had 50 fire, 50 ice, and 50 lightning. And then it had negative 40 mountain, negative 40 rain, and negative 40 wind. So that's basically Abyss's like weakness chart. So Abyss Purg himself will be weak to Holy. He will be really weak to Pierce. So Abyss is weak to Pierce, Holy, Wind, very weak to Mountain, and he's weak to Rain. So those are your 5 options. And he should be weak to Flight element. So things like Oda or any Vanguard that really has Flight. I think Lancelot has some moves that have Flight attached to it. I think like Bayonet, things like that. So Abyss is weak to 5 things. Abyss is weak to Holy, Pierce, and then the 3 elements, Wind, Mountain, and Water. He's mostly weak to Mountain though. He's somewhat weak to Holy, and then he is also weak to Flight. So Mountain is really good against him. Abyss's typing, I think he is not a beast type. I am very confident that Abyss is not a beast type. Absolutely. But we got to work our way there, Reiji. I'm glad you're thinking ahead. Absolutely. Honest to God, guys, I've been playing other games and I do not know where the bestiary is. By the way, for the past 2 weeks, I have been playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, and it's my first Shin Megami Tensei game ever, and I am loving it. I am absolutely loving this game. Like, I'm on vacation right now, and I've just been playing it and playing it. I have like 60 hours in. I am loving the shit out of it. I am so down. The game is so fun. Anyway, that's just what I've been doing. So I got like, I'm hitting all the wrong menu buttons. I'm hitting triangle to open menu. I'm hitting start to close it. I am lost. Oh, that's the problem. Like even in Genshin, I'll be playing Genshin and I'll go play Oni and I'll hit like L1 and down. I'm like, why are they on the map? Why am I attacking Shizuka? I'm like, what's going on, man? There's Abyss. So Abyss is SL. Assuming that Abyss Purg is the same, I don't know why they would change it. Abyss is SL. And as we see here, like he should be immune to fire, immune to ice, immune to lightning. And Abyss will hit you, by the way, with fire, with ice, with lightning, and with dark. Oh, you've been sick? You just got back to Oni? You've been sick with COVID? That's rough. I had it, wasn't too bad. That's rough. Hopefully you get a speedy recovery. Remember, vitamin D, zinc, and acetaminophen for headaches, and lots of water. That should get you going. Or vitamin D, zinc, and acetaminophen. And lots of citrus, obviously. Man, stay hydrated. Stay away from sugar. That just feeds it. So hopefully you get a speedy recovery. So he's immune to dark, he's immune to lightning, immune to ice, immune to fire, very weak to wind, or very weak to mountain, very weak to flight, and then very strong to slice, and then effect does not exist, he's very strong, and critical resistance very strong. So I'm pretty sure he's neutral to Pierce in that regard then. But I remember seeing somewhere that he was weak to Pierce. But basically anything he's neutral with, you can use. So as I mentioned, wind, water, wind, rain, Pierce, holy, those all work. So Judgment Cross, whatever you really have at your disposal. Pierce as well. You just take whatever she gave you? That's alright. Moms always know best. And you know me, I'm an Oro mom. Mama Oro. So, anyway. Yeah, so clearly very, very weak to Mountain. So Mountain Vanguards are going to destroy him, and SL is his typing. So let's just go into that real quick. So what Vanguards are good against Abyss? Just talk about it. Venus is strong to SL. Venus could be a clutch option. I mean, you don't have much to fill up on, so you might have to this is probably going to be a first aid dungeon, to be honest with you guys. Like, if your 25 runs consist of like 2 minutes of first aid and 3 minutes of running, you're golden. When I ran my first time like a year ago or 2 ago for Everlasting Gale, I was doing 10-minute runs. Like 10-minute runs to me was the norm when we did this like years ago. I would have been on like PS4, I think, maybe PS5. Fuck, I can't remember, to tell you the truth. I cannot remember if I was on PS4 or PS5 when we did Abyss. I cannot tell you, because I got my PS5 when Shikibu first came out. I cannot for certain tell you if I fought Abyss on PS4 or PS5. But I know he does teleport a lot. But I can't remember if I was on PS4 or 5 or not. I remember I was playing with some people. I played with a guy, Brahms. Brahms had KG and I had KG and we did good. And then someone else had Toshi. And Toshi beat the shit out of him. Oh my god. And Leviathan also does really good to him. Leviathan's Oratio hits him even when he teleports because it's an auto-target skill. I really recommend if you have Leviathan and you get knocked out of Vanguard or whatever, summon your Leviathan and just spam some Oratios on him. It hits like 5 times and you do like 4 or 5 mil a hit. It's pretty good damage and it hits him with tracking, so it's really good. So Venus, he is neutral to Rain. Venus is good against SL. You could, you could bring Venus in. There's nothing wrong with that. Venus has Holy. Venus has Wind. You have iframes with Primavera Tempesta. You have Pietoso Saeta. It's like the Vegito sword. Iframes of Holy and Light, Holy and Wind. You also have Sun Rosa. You have Aqua Needles. Her Aqua Needles might be good. They might not be super effective, but she's the right typing. It's a neutral hit. It could be a strong choice. Venus should not be underestimated. I don't know how strong her Bright Homing would be in this case, but I'm pretty sure Aqua Needle would work to some degree, assuming you were built with enough rain to deal the damage. But Venus is the right typing, so keep that in mind. Siegfried is also the right typing. However, his attacks are lightning and holy, so most of them are going to get diffused and do no damage. They're going to go from doing 1 mil to doing 3 mil. You know how that goes. Valkyrie is the canon opponent. Valkyrie was introduced when we fought Abyss, so if you do have Valkyrie and you use her non-ice holy moves, they could be okay at best. Valkyrie did get a buff in current years, alongside Venus and Siegfried and Kieran. And what does Valkyrie really have? I only really use Valkyrie for her ice, to be honest. I'm not really too sure about the elemental disposition of her attacks, to be honest. Heinmil is ice lightning. Yeah, the Heinmil won't work at all. Wait, what? Ice lightning? It changes? What? Regular Heinmil is ice lightning. Heinmil 6, ice lightning. And then Judgment, Heinmil attack 7, is holy and ice. I didn't know that. And Pierce, it changes completely. I didn't know that. Wow. And then this one is Pierce, holy ice. That's not going to help you. Aurora is holy and ice. That's not going to help you. Judgment, that's 100% ice. Going to fail you. Ice, going to fail you. Brandish is holy ice. Going to fail. Ice, if you use Vate Stos, a move that I don't really ever use, it is Pierce and Holy, it could work. And then Balloon here is probably like 100% Ice Pierce or some shit. Holy and Ice, not going to help you. Zwilshaft, not going to help you. Damn. I don't know who it was. I think I was talking to Lyra about Abyss, and he mentioned Valkyrie, and it's just like, her moves are too split. Like, you have Gigenstos, and like that other attack I mentioned. Like, you only have like 2 attacks that really work. And Close Seal as well, which is God Sealing Circle, is probably not going to be that powerful. I don't know if Valkyrie is the option for here. I don't know. She's the right typing, but she just doesn't have the right moves to hit him. Okay, moving on. Azura is the right typing. He is SL. He is strong to SL. That will help us. Abyss is weak to Mountain, so you could use a bunch of his punch attacks that are just the 100% Mountain stuff. That's the thing. He has a lot of fire attacks. Oh, we can see the elements here. Cool. Divine Arm Ascension. I mean, if you have... It's basically like I bring up Azura, like, if you have nothing better, you can build a full Mountain build to hit him with. I don't recommend it, but if you had nothing better, I think you'd have to go with one of the Mountain Oogies and then just straight up Earth Crag Rupture. I don't really recommend it, to be honest. Kieran is weak to SL, not that she gets walled completely. Orihime, I am not fluent on her at all. She is the right typing with Soul, but I believe she is lightning and fire, so she's out of the running. Unless she's packing some secret holy that I don't know about. Amana Jock. Miyamoto's weak to SL. So Miyamoto's out of the running. You do have Sepulcher, which is okay, but you would get absolutely just rammed. You'd get destroyed. Dark Miyamoto out of the question. Little Miyamoto, we're not kidding ourselves. Kojiro is weak to SL. Not enough. No flight in the world is going to save you. Not enough. Sasuke's weak to SL. Summer Sasuke, I mean, if you wanted to push him with your wheel, you could. It'd be kind of funny, but again, don't push your luck. Himiko is strong to SL. I think Himiko has ice, lightning, and dark, so she's not really going to help you. Kintoki is neutral, which is probably really bad for the job. Amana Jaku is a boy. That's your answer, Hellkama. Idol Kintoki is good to SL. I don't know if... I think she has some Mountain. I'm not sure. I don't even think mine's built. She has great acts of intervention. Just go in there and spam Revolving Axe, Roaring Brandish. Yeah, man. What about Oogies? Oh, yeah. Full Mountain Vanguard. You got Sakata, Kintoki, the Idol. Hell yeah. But in all seriousness here... Gena is... No, what am I doing? Shooting is bad for this. Oda Nobunaga is strong to SL. Oda does, as was just mentioned a second ago, you have Bloodstained Rebellion, which is flight and dark. I don't know how that's going to translate. Oda usually beats the shit out of Abyss, like honestly. You have Game of Crossfire, which despite being fire and flight, dark and flight, I think this move is primarily like majorly flight over the other elements. And Game of Crossfire used to like cap the shit out of him. So if you do have Oda, she probably is a good contender for this. Oda should hopefully hold up as she used to. Hideyoshi is strong to Soul. She does have wind, but her moves are mostly wind slice. I wouldn't recommend it. Shibata, I believe, is Mountain, and she's bad against it, so let's not even recommend it. Lancelot, strong to SL. If you have flight moves or your holy attacks, you can use them. You can use the rain attacks. Both will work. Lancelot is viable. And you just spam iframes anyway. That's the most important part. How much damage are you doing? I don't know. I'm alive and his health is slowly going down. Good job. You're doing fantastic. You're doing the best we can ask of you. Gawain is neutral to SL, so she's probably, you might as well call it weak to it. Gawain does have really strong holy. If you build a holy build with like Chiami and a shit ton of holy and crit, you could stand there and just go Bellinus, 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 and hopefully you'll do some modicum of damage. Tristan does have flight element. She is strong to SL. This is a very niche pick. And I mention this as if you have nothing else, okay? Like, this isn't a top pick. I'm just going through to see what works. You know, we call it content. She has wind, flight, and pierce. Her attacks are technically good. She does have good attacks. Not the best attacks in the world. Not the greatest thing ever. But Tristan is a support character if you don't have Venus or something like that, and you do have a crap ton of Venus. You can pop some of your buffs that can give your teammates immunity to like 3 hits, which is really good. It could stop a whole stop. It could stop some fatal attack. Don't underestimate her. Don't go into that dungeon with no Vanguard and no staff if you have a Tristan. I swear to God, you can be useful. Absolutely, you're better than you think. You have tricks up your sleeve. You have flight element on all your moves. You have holy and wind. Get out there. Hit him with the spirit bomb. Kenshin's no good in there. Shingen, I'm not fluent on him. I know nothing. He's weak to SL. Perfect. Don't have to worry about that. Sanzo, if you got her, use her. I don't care. Ho-Oh is strong to SL. Ho-Oh does have holy attacks. But if you are one of the, like, 5 people in this game with 4 to 5 scrolls of Ho-Oh, you're going to have to tell me how she's going to do in there. Because I'm pretty sure she ain't going to do shit. Because her attacks are fire and holy. Primarily fire. Manajaku, weak to SL. No good. I'm not even going to look at 6 and 9. Riku, good choice. If you have Riku, Riku is... I just did a guide on Riku about a month ago, and we haven't talked about Sugamo yet. I apologize. But Riku does have very, very, very powerful mountain element, and she will be very useful. If you can use Riku's Ogis, which one did we use in the stream a lot?